Hello, and welcome to the Phillips Familia. My name is David,
My name's Natalie.
and this is our second video. Yeah, so she's excited, I'm excited, it's good. So in this video, we're just going to talk about how we met. If you watched our first video, we kind of did the introduction, this is what we said we'd do. If you haven't yet, go back and watch our first video and also check this one out, okay? I'm going to let her start us off though. This is about how we met and how we started dating.
We met in Fort Worth, where I was studying. We are now both back in Austin. Excited about that. Sorry. So, I was in Fort Worth for school. I was in a class called the Christian and Fine Arts. I was required to go on 3 cultural events, outings,
Dates.
dates.
They were dates.
Is what the professor actually encouraged them to be. He said you could take your dad or brother, or you can do it the right way. Make it a date. So I actually had plans to go with my dad, but then last minute he told me, "You're a big girl. You got it." Thanks, Dad. Thank you. Genuinely, thank you. Okay. I was very anxious. I had no idea who I was going to ask. I had a lot of girlfriends at the time. Like, I'd already made a couple of girlfriends there, but there wasn't really any guys that I really was really friends with. And my roommates went to David's musical because he's a fine arts man.
Yeah, I like the fine arts.
Okay.
That was bad. That was so cheesy. Anyways, I love her stuff.
Okay. Sorry, guys. So they had went to the musical, and so I had to remember that because a friend told me about David, showed me actually a picture, and just told me how out of character it was for him to be in his character that he was playing, because he was very introverted and quiet and reserved, and then when she showed me a picture of him, he just looked super happy. And so fast forward, on his birthday, there was a college and career event at some of the members of our church at their house. Met him there. That was our first time talking, because I told him, I saw your picture, and that was really briefly how we first met ever conversation, because he remembers so well.
I don't remember actually meeting her that day. Anyways, continue.
So, one Sunday evening, I thought about it, and I thought he would be a really good person to ask to go on the event with, because he taught fine arts, he was in a musical. What better way? I was supposed to write a 5-page paper. I had no idea. I mean, like I said, anybody or what it would even look like trying to connect those things that we were doing. One was a movie, one was an opera, and the other one was supposed to be a museum, but I subbed it for something else. Besides the point. So I asked him Sunday night, would you be willing to help me with this event? And at that time, God was doing something in his life.
Yeah, so at the same time where she had the kind of anxiety about asking someone and whatever else she was going through, God had been working on me about how I needed to be more open, how I needed to be willing to just say yes to things in order to build relationships, build friendships, build fellowship, and just be willing to do those things, because I had kind of had a set way I'd like to get to know people, and like she said, I'm a quiet, introverted guy, so that actually took a long time for me to do, to actually open up to someone or get to know them. And the Lord had just been like, that's not how I want you to live your life. I want you to be open. I want you to be willing to go and do things. And when she was telling me about this event, I felt like that was, this is one of those things I can open up to and just agree, yeah, I'm going to help you. Mm-hmm. And also, along with that, as she was saying, fine arts, I felt like I could actually be helpful to her.
Use the knowledge.
It wasn't like, I'm not just going to go for the sake of getting to know somebody. It was like, I can be helpful to this person that has an assignment. And so I agreed to go to the event, and that was good.
It was helpful. And then, so we talked the first event was a movie that we did at a house on campus. And so it was a group thing, so it actually made it a little bit easier. Yeah. And then the next day we had to talk. Some people wanted to talk that night, but it was way too late for us. We were like, no. So we planned to meet up the next day, and we talked. We were supposed to talk for 2 hours minimum. We talked for 4. I told him actually after 2, I was like, okay, I have enough. You can go. I felt bad because I felt that he just said yes because he felt obligated. But anyways, he was like, no, I'm enjoying talking or something.
Yeah, it was. I was like, no, I'm good. I don't
And so
have
we
somewhere
talked
to
for
be.
2 more.
I like talking to you and getting to know. So we talked, for 4 hours total, and it kind of made me a little bit afraid just because I enjoyed talking with her. But, I mean, that's just like the me of wanting to like shut down and like no, but anyways, I told her at the same time, I was like, hey, well, if you ever have any other events, just let me know. I have like Thursday nights available because I was working all the jobs at the time. I was working 3 jobs. I don't recommend it. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to your family.
I'm doing that right now.
I know you are, but you're
It's
like
different.
less hours.
And it equals less.
It equals. Anyways, long
Side
story
note.
short, I told her I was open on Thursday nights to help.
And I found an event on Thursday. Actually, I didn't find. I mean,
It just happened.
it was announced. There was an event Thursday night at my school, and the professor
like a
said that
month
it would
later.
count for. It could count as one of the events. So I asked him, and he was like, "Yeah." And so we did that. Went to the event. It was fun.
It
I
was
actually
fun.
really liked that one. And then at the end of the night, I got a
sent
message
her a message. I don't recommend you do this.
from
Don't-
David Phillips.
Don't take this. Don't.
Right after he, it wasn't right.
It wasn't
after he
right
left.
after. It was like we were talking already that night. Anyways, I sent her a message just saying, hey, what would it look like to you if maybe we made this next get together where we talked about the event a date?
I feel like it was right after thinking about it because
No,
I remember thinking, let me tell you my thought.
Okay.
It's because I remember thinking, why did he message me? He said we would talk later or something like that. Anyways, because any interaction we were really having before that was just really short. It was just like a, hey, see you there,
Yeah.
because of him more than anything, but that's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's good.
And
Worked
so
out well.
I told her I would like to make it a date.
The
And-
next time that we had to talk, because we still didn't talk that night. You still needed to do the 2-hour
Yep.
conversation.
And what'd you do?
I dropped my phone and I freaked out because I wasn't. Another long story. I felt that I was supposed to be single, and I really did not want a relationship at all. It was kind of that moment when I finally just said, okay, God, here, this is this area of my life that I've probably been holding on to and trying to, control it and have it my way. And so I was just finally like, you know what? Okay, here. And then, so I just didn't think that was what it looked like. I was like, oh my gosh, I just
And
said
that was
that
like-
I wasn't going to do this, and now he's asking me, and that was why I was anxious. But
Yeah, and that was like so out of character for me just because, like I said, I figured the next person I asked out I'd probably known for maybe 4 or 5 years.
it's funny,
A
my
slow
roommate
burner.
and him, my roommate at the time and him were so much alike, and she was even surprised when I shared that he asked
Oh yeah,
me that.
we're me and her older roommate were twins
Very
basically.
similar. Yeah.
But anyways, besides the point, what she responded to me when I sent that text, so I'm like an introverted guy going out on a limb. But you know what? I shouldn't have messaged her through. Don't ask people out on dates through social media in any form. Just don't do it. Do it in person. Anyways, I sent her a message through social media, and her response was like, let's talk about it in person. So I was just kind of like, oh.
Well, I didn't know what
Okay.
it looked like to be dating or to go on a date. I think that there's times where people try and come up with their own idea of it, and I think
It's good to define it.
yeah,
Yeah.
we needed to clarify some things.
Yeah, so we met up in person, we talked about the event like we were supposed to, and afterwards she was like, okay, well, what was it you asked me? What did that mean? Kind
Oh,
of.
I was asking, what did you mean by what you asked me?
Yeah, and I basically straight out told her, and she's got better memory than I do, but that I wanted to date you, I wanted to be intentional about getting to know you because I like you.
That's exactly what you said.
And
I want to
then-
be intentional about getting to know you.
Yeah, and then if that
Pursue you.
to pursue you, and if that leads into a relationship, more so, and if it continues to progress further for the purpose, getting to know you for the purpose of the possibility of marriage.
Yeah.
And so taking like in steps. I'm not gonna say
I want to marry you.
I'm not. Yeah, no.
And
no,
he said that. He was like, I'm not trying to say I want to get married,
no.
which is funny.
I know,
'cause
we're engaged now. Huh? Joke's on us. No, it's not. Praise the Lord. Oh, we're so happy.
Mhm.
I'm so happy. I'll let her speak for herself on that one.
I said yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so we talked about that, and at the end of the conversation, it was like let's agree to be intentional about getting to know each other better. So we went out on some group dates, and just hung out with people in a setting while we were still like we were going on dates with like
Some group
dating,
dates and
hanging
single
out.
dates. He asked
Yeah,
me
a
if
couple
he could
single
take me
dates.
out on my birthday. He
Yeah.
had to work on my birthday, but he was saying, you know, I'd like to celebrate with you before.
Yeah,
So
I
that
took
was
out
our
the day
first
before.
official kind of outing together. We had a really good time.
Yeah, it was fun.
And then
I had kind of, after like a couple, like maybe a month or two of group dating and hanging out, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah,
I was like, I want to be in a relationship with you to pursue further. And she was kind of like, well, we'll see, or
well,
yeah, that's kind
there
of what
was
we did.
things that I felt that we needed to both talk about,
Yeah.
because I think we are older. I mean, so my life has changed very sort of intensely. I don't know the word. I can't think of the word right now, but it's changed
Amazingly.
a lot. Amazing. It is. It's been a really good thing.
Yeah.
But my life before I had a relationship with God, it looked completely different. And I knew that he knew that, but there was, you know, things that I just felt that you need to, well, especially if you're looking to be, I mean, boyfriend and girlfriend, but for sure marriage, you need to be able to just have these sometimes awkward, hard conversations. But you know what? That was when the transparency video we watched. I found a
you
video.
saw it first, and then she sent it to me.
Jefferson Beth Key. Thank you.
Yeah,
Alyssa
thank you.
Beth Key, y'all are such an encouragement to us. So they posted a video about talking about, maybe we could put the link below or something, but talking about the importance of being able to have those harder conversations up front. And so that's what I told him, you know, before you say you want me to be your girlfriend, let's talk about these things. And he said at the same time, he was like, okay, well, yeah, for sure I have things that we should talk about too. And so we had that
we had a long
conversation.
There's a, you know, went over and talked to her, and we sat down and we just laid it all out. It's like, there it is. It was a very blunt, a very forward conversation. And
like our struggles, our past hurts,
yeah.
our past
mistakes. And that's just, it was all glory to God through that time, through that conversation. It's just stuff that if we were going to pursue each other and just really pursue each other, we had to be open.
Yeah, I think we really, I wanted to know, I can't speak for you, but like I wanted you to know, hey, this is what, because it's possible like that the things that you maybe struggled with in the past, that it's harder to, that's my dog, by the way, his name is Mac. He wanted to make a guest appearance. I lost my train of thought.
Whenever we're talking about being transparent with people, when you're in a relationship and you're involved, was that where you're going with this?
It was just that, I feel like it's healthier that you know, because if those things come up, if those things that you struggle with come up again, your partner needs to know, like, if there's something, I don't know, whatever, like, let's just pick food, like, I'm not gonna pick food, that one's goofy, I don't need to give an example, but it's like,
if you're addicted to something or you struggle with something,
you go. That's
your partner needs to know, that way they can help you.
Yes.
That way they can support you through it.
This is why he's my partner.
But yeah, and that's you know, we had to be just upfront, and we just laid it all out. And while it was a hard conversation, at the end of that conversation, I asked her, because I was like, well, we talked about it. You want to be my girlfriend? Well, and I was like, okay, let me ask you this: do you feel like God will be glorified through our relationship?
Before that, actually, what I was going to say is that you were like, after I told my story and kind of what it looked like, you know, before, and, you know, things that I was going through, at the end he was like, I still want you to be my girlfriend. I was like, and then he asked me that, because there was 2 times before that, actually, that I had kind of had that realization that God would be glorified with us being together, because of the fact that we are 2 people that need a lot of God's help.
Yeah.
And to be able to see that God took 2 people that were, you know, once really not living, not really, I don't know, I'm at a loss for words.
That's okay. It's just like God took us where we were, and He's been growing us through that. And the fact that we can come alongside each other now and push each other to God as well and encourage one another in that, I feel like it's a good testament to be glorifying with our relationship to God. She knows where I'm weak. I know where she's weak.
There you go.
And we can cover that. Like there's the cheesy illustration of the waffle hands, because like the parts of your hands that are weak, you cover each other. Cheesy, but it's true. Okay, it's cheesy but true. We can cover our weaknesses with each other, and we can build up our strengths.
Well,
And it's just a celebration of God.
like despite where you struggled in the past, despite where you are struggling now, you know, one thing that he actually said in the first conversation we ever met is that love is a choice. And, you know, whenever somebody gets married, he said, I believe that you choose to love that person. You're going to wake up every day and say, I love you, I'm going to love you, and you come, you know, before I do. And so just that unconditional kind of love. And I was like, oh, his wife's going to be so blessed.
And now she's going to be my wife soon. I'm so excited. But
yeah, so
that's
after
how-
that question,
when
I said
that,
let's do it. Because I felt God telling me to trust him, to trust God, not to trust David, but God
Praise
has
the Lord.
us. I mean, and so that was just like as if I forgot, which we do forget things, we need reminding. But yeah, in that moment I felt God telling me that I could trust him. And so I said, let's do this.
Yeah.
And that's
how we started dating. That's how we
our
started our
relationship.
relationship. Yeah. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. If you could, like, comment, subscribe to our channel, share the video with your friends. We want this vlog to be just glorifying to God and be a ministry that we can share with other people. So if y'all could help us out with that by sharing the video if you want to. You don't have to. But
turn on post notifications if you're interested in seeing my post.
Yeah, if you subscribe, make sure you turn on post. That way you get the alert. But anyways, thank y'all so much, and we'll see y'all next week.
See ya.
Bye.